Meet Steve. Steve had a pretty normal life, and then one day, Steve looked at his empty living room corner and thought, you know what this space needs? A 5-foot-long, venomous, extremely opinionated reptile. Steve is not alone. Every year, thousands of people look at genuinely terrifying animals and think, yeah, I could raise that. How hard could it be? So today, we're going through the most dangerous pets people actually keep in their homes. Stick around, because number 4 involves an animal that has killed more pet owners than sharks, lions, and bears combined. Number 1 are venomous snakes. Let's start with the classic, venomous snakes. Now, keeping a venomous snake is a bit like dating someone with a complicated relationship status. Everyone warns you. You've seen the horror stories, and you do it anyway because it looks cool. Owners of hot snakes, that's the actual industry term, hot. They will tell you it's about respect and control. One wrong hand placement, though, and respect turns into a hospital bill with more zeros than your rent. Here's the human comparison. Owning a venomous snake is like keeping a loaded gun that occasionally wants to be cuddled. It's calm, it's beautiful, it's not aiming to hurt you, until the one day it absolutely does. And here's the kicker. Most snake bites on owners don't happen during feeding. They happen during cleaning. The most boring, mundane chore imaginable. It's always the boring chores that get you. Just ask anyone who's ever slipped in the shower. Number 2 are big cats. Big cats include tigers, lions, and cougars that are kept as pets by an alarming number of private owners, mostly in the US, where apparently the rules are more like suggestions. Now, here's the thing about big cats. A tiger cub is basically the cutest thing biology has ever produced. It's fluffy, it play bites, it flops around like a drunk toddler. But here's the plot twist nobody plans for. That cub grows up. And it doesn't grow up into large house cat. It grows up into 400 pounds of pure muscle that still thinks it's playing. The same way your uncle still thinks he can beat you in an arm wrestle from 1997. The terrifying part isn't aggression, it's affection. Big cats have killed owners while playing. Imagine dying because your pet loved you a little too enthusiastically. That's not a pet. That's a plot twist waiting to happen. A single swipe from a tiger carries more force than a car door slamming on your hand. Except the car door doesn't have claws and it definitely doesn't want to play tag afterwards. Number 3 are scorpions and venomous insects. Let's go smaller, much smaller. Scorpions, tarantulas, and venomous centipedes. The exotic pet world's version of, I don't need friends, I need a personality. Here's what's funny. These owners will tell you, dead serious, oh, it's totally safe, they only bite if provoked. Which, sure, that's also true of every ex you've ever had. The real danger with these tiny terrors isn't usually death. It's the surprise factor. You reach into a terrarium to change the water, and suddenly you're doing an involuntary interpretive dance because something with 8 legs decided your finger looked like lunch. Fun fact, some centipede venom causes pain so intense that victims have described it as worse than childbirth, which means somewhere out there, a guy with a pet centipede is out here confidently telling women he understands their pain. He does not. Number 4 is the number 1 killer. Okay, time for the one I promised you. The animal that has killed more pet owners worldwide than sharks, bears, and big cats combined. It doesn't have fangs. It doesn't have claws. It's not even technically wild. It's the domestic horse. I know, anticlimactic. You were expecting a cobra, and I gave you Mr. Ed. But think about it. A horse is a half-ton animal with the reflexes of a caffeinated sprinter and the emotional stability of someone who just found out their coffee order was wrong. One spook, one kick, one bad moment, and you're dealing with an impact roughly equivalent to being hit by a small car. Horses aren't dangerous because they're aggressive. They're dangerous because they're skittish. It's the same energy as your friend who screams and throws their phone every time they see a spider. Except this friend weighs 1,200 pounds and has hooves. The lesson here is brutal but important. The safe, familiar pet can be far deadlier than the obviously terrifying one. Danger doesn't always announce itself with fangs. Sometimes it announces itself with a saddle and a Facebook marketplace listing. Let's talk about the human psychology behind it. So here's the real question. Why do people keep doing this? Why do humans, generation after generation, look at nature's "please do not touch" signs and go, "But what if I did, though?" Psychologists actually have an answer, and it's less death wish and more ego project. Owning something dangerous is a status symbol, the same instinct behind sports cars, extreme sports, and that one coworker who microwaves fish in the office just to prove he can. It says, "I am not afraid. I am in control. Look at me holding a thing that could end me." It's the animal version of holding a cactus without gloves, just to prove a point at a party. And to be fair, most of the time, it works out fine. These owners genuinely love their animals, understand the risks, and take real precautions. So, what have we learned? The scariest pets aren't always the ones with the biggest teeth. Sometimes it's the quiet ones, the safe ones, the ones sitting in a stable down the road, not a jungle enclosure. Danger, much like a Monday morning, doesn't always look the way you expect. If you learned something today, or if you just want to see me get uncomfortably close to a scorpion enclosure in a future video, hit subscribe. Stay curious, stay safe, and maybe don't let Steve get that snake.